In the summer of 1981, a group of 5 friends from Knoxville, Tennessee, Mark, Sarah, Todd, Lisa, and Jason, decided to embark on a camping trip to the Great Smoky Mountains. They chose a remote area known for its dense forests and serene beauty, aiming to escape the hustle and bustle of city life. Unbeknownst to them, this trip would become a haunting mystery that remains unsolved to this day. The group arrived at their chosen campsite, a secluded spot near a babbling creek, surrounded by towering trees that formed a natural canopy. The air was filled with the scent of pine and the sounds of rustling leaves. They pitched their tents in a semicircle, with Todd's tent positioned closest to the tree line. As the sun set, they gathered around a campfire, sharing stories and laughter under the starlit sky. Eager to explore, the friends set out on a hike deeper into the forest. They marveled at the untouched beauty of nature, spotting deer and listening to the distant calls of owls. Todd, an amateur photographer, was particularly enthusiastic, capturing the landscape with his camera. He often wandered ahead, seeking the perfect shot, but always remained within sight. As dusk approached, they returned to their campsite, tired but content. That night, fatigue from the day's hike set in, and the group retired to their tents earlier than usual. The forest was eerily quiet, with only the occasional chirp of crickets breaking the silence. In the early hours of the morning, Sarah was jolted awake by a faint rustling sound. She dismissed it as an animal and drifted back to sleep. At dawn, Jason emerged from his tent to start the campfire for breakfast. Noticing that Todd's tent was unzipped and empty, he assumed Todd had gone for an early morning walk. However, as the hours passed and Todd didn't return, concern grew among the friends. They called out his name, their voices echoing through the forest, but received no response. Panicked, the group began a frantic search. Near the edge of the campsite, they discovered Todd's camera lying on the ground, its strap broken. The last photo taken was a blurred image of trees, offering no clues. A few yards away, his flashlight was found, still operational. Strangely, there were no signs of a struggle, no disturbed foliage or footprints leading away. Desperate, they expanded their search radius. Approximately 200 yards from the campsite, they stumbled upon Todd's sleeping bag, shredded and draped over a low-hanging branch. The fabric was torn apart, as if by sharp claws, but there was no blood or other evidence to suggest an animal attack. The ground beneath was undisturbed, and no tracks were found. With no other options, the friends hiked back to the nearest ranger station to report Todd's disappearance. Park rangers, accompanied by search and rescue teams, arrived promptly with tracking dogs. The dogs, however, were unable to pick up Todd's scent beyond his tent. The only footprints found were those of the friends and a set of Todd's leading into his tent, but none leading out. The shredded sleeping bag baffled investigators. Wildlife experts couldn't identify any local predators capable of such precise damage without leaving other evidence. Theories ranged from a bear attack to Todd wandering off and succumbing to the elements, but none fit the evidence. Days turned into weeks, and despite extensive searches, no further traces of Todd were found. His friends, traumatized, couldn't shake the feeling of being watched during their remaining time in the forest. They recalled Todd mentioning a sense of unease during the trip, but they had all dismissed it as nerves. To this day, Todd's disappearance remains unsolved. The case, often referred to as the Vanishing camper, has become a local legend, with some drawing parallels to the infamous Dyatlov Pass incident in Russia, where 9 hikers died under mysterious circumstances in 1959. Both cases involve experienced outdoors enthusiasts disappearing or dying under unexplained and eerie conditions. Visitors to the Great Smoky Mountains occasionally report feelings of unease near the area where Todd vanished. Some claim to hear faint calls for help or see fleeting shadows among the trees. Whether these accounts are products of active imaginations or something more sinister remains a topic of debate. The mystery of Todd's disappearance serves as a chilling reminder of the unknown dangers that can lurk in the wilderness and the importance of remaining vigilant even in the most serene settings.